it's marinating in me. I think it's just gonna stick in me for probably ever.
Oh, that's okay.
So, Longlegs explores some complicated dynamics between a mother and daughter, set against this backdrop of what some people are thinking is Silence of the Lambs. It's very much not Silence of the Lambs, but there are a lot of layers to this. So, I'm wondering, of all of those many layers, what bit appealed to you the most when you're reading this script?
For me, it was all about the character.
Mhm.
First and foremost, I read this script and I was blown away by that specific character and the complexity of her. And I felt in my cells that I knew how to play Ruth. And everything in me was literally praying to God, please let this be mine, because I know Ruth, I can do this. And then meeting with Oz, we had an hour-long Zoom getting to know each other when we talked about Ruth and talked about our processes and discovered some eerie personal um, shared experiences that he
Mhm.
and I had had. And we quickly developed a shorthand with each other. We discussed this character in deep detail. So it was Ruth's dichotomies that appealed to me the most, which I won't go into detail of to spoil anything, but she is a combination of so many different things.
Mhm.
And I felt like she was deep inside of me. And I had only to do the work. And then when I showed up on set, to let her out. And to have a guide like Oz, to have that trust with him, it allowed me to fully immerse and also so to fully channel her and also to fully let her go at the end of each scene and the end of each day. So I didn't take any of that heaviness home with me. I left it there on the set
I thought
and
that's
left it
really
on
important.
film for you to see. And
Yes, and you
I
knocked it
don't.
out of the park. It's still in me. Like this is a movie that it's marinating in me. I think it's just gonna stick in me for probably ever.
Oh, that's okay.
We're debating if that's a good thing or bad thing. No, it's a great thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You started acting as a kid and you've pretty much just continued it ever fucking since. Like didn't even take a break. You just you began, you were coming in hot right out of the gate and just like never stopped, which I think is incredible. Obviously, Fangoria, we love urban legend, and it feels like this whole new generation is now discovering it. It's like on TikTok and socials and things being touted as like an underrated classic. Have you experienced this?
I have experienced this. It's amazing. I who know, you never know as an actor. You make a movie and then you let it go and you go on to make other movies if you're fortunate, which I have been, my goodness. But that was over 20, what, 25 years ago now, right?
I like to
Yeah.
pretend it was like 3 years ago, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, I am so thrilled that people are now discovering it. And wow, there's other movies too that I never would have imagined, or never, you don't give a thought to that when you're making a movie.
Right.
But I very much want to revisit Natalie in particular. She's occurred to me many times over the years because both Natalie and I have grown so much over the
Mhm.
years. And who Natalie is 25 years later, and how that might be similar to who I am 25 years later, and how that's different.
Mhm.
That's something I deeply want to explore very,
Amazing.
very much. And I have ideas. So I know there's been talk of doing a sequel over the years, and I would long to get to play Natalie Simon again.
We would love to see it.